And a very warm welcome to this beautiful day and another edition of Wellbeing Wisdom. Now, we've been talking about the importance of learning how to control how you think and how you feel. And we've already accepted that for most of us, that is a little bit of a challenge. So I've had some questions about simple, practical techniques we can all use to develop a greater sense of mastery over the stream of consciousness. Part of the problem is that we are deeply conditioned to associate any external event we experience with an immediate automatic reaction. We see something and we react. We've even developed an expression in recent years to say that we are triggered, as if we have no choice, as if there is absolutely nothing we can do to interfere with our reaction. This makes me feel, you make me feel. We hear these expressions from early childhood and we believe them, even though a little examination of that question will reveal that it's not actually completely true. Because the fact is, once you begin to interfere with the habit of reacting, you realize that you have a little space, a little gap between whatever you're witnessing or experiencing, whoever you've encountered, and your reaction. Now, most of us have learned through habit to react automatically. We're on automatic pilot. This happens, this is our reaction. I see this person, this is my reaction. Conditioned reflexes. In some ways, it makes life much easier, much simpler. We don't have to stop and think and consider how we're behaving. But the subject that we have been touching on in recent videos is the fact that those reactions play a very powerful, influential role in how you deal with life. We're talking about your health, your well-being, your creativity, your ability to metabolize, to sleep well. Yeah, it affects everything. So this is not a luxury item. This is not really an optional extra. I would argue that this is one of the essential components for a more successful way of living. And by success, what I mean is that you have better control over the outcomes. Less stress, more a sense of inner peace and calm, more clarity so that our vision isn't clouded by some of the negative reactions that spark up when we hear something, see something, or we meet a certain person. This idea has been around for a long time. It's not even something that found its discovery in the 20th century. It goes back thousands of years. As a species, we've always known that there is a moment of, can we call it hesitation? Let's call it a very small gap between whatever's going on and your ability to choose how to react. It might be challenging to do this all the time. Yeah, I may accept that. But to do it occasionally will sow the seeds for a fantastic habit that allows you to decide, to choose how you're reacting, if you're going to react. This is a very, very powerful development for all humans because you begin to break some of the conditioning that you've been living with since early childhood and select behaviors, attitudes that are just so much healthier, so much better for you, and with all respect, healthier for your relationships, the people around you. Your ability to pause, and instead of getting angry, filled with righteous indignation, you stop. It's that pause that really changes brain function. It's that pause, that ability to just consider how or if you want to react. That little magical moment where you say, well, what if I don't react? Gosh, this person is so angry. What if I don't respond? What if I stay calm? Wow, I've just detached myself from this cycle of crazy, tumultuous, chaotic energy around me, and I find an inner oasis of peace that allows me to see what's really going on. It helps me to understand the other person without taking their behavior personally. It allows me to see events with a certain degree of objectivity and to decide whether my reaction is even worth the effort. The fact is, through our conditioning, a lot of us actually enjoy getting upset. We love to rail against the misfortunes of life, the injustices, without actually doing anything to change the situation. I would argue that that reaction is wasted, it's redundant, except a lot of that negative energy is harmful for our health and our well-being. Learning to pause, to take a breath, to stop. It's that microscopic pause, that little tiny invitation to say, do I want to react? How do I want to react? What if I don't get angry? What if I don't fly off the handle and feel upset? What if I don't feel this energy rising up where I want to reach for the baseball bat and give people some corrective therapy? What if I decide to remain calm? To see things more clearly? Because guys, the fear response most of us are conditioned to use limits our vision, our perception, and our options. When we select a calmer, may I say more rational approach, your perception expands dramatically. You see things more clearly. You understand things without that personal sense of indignation. That is a fabulous step forwards. And I'd argue if anybody's dealing with anger issues, we've got plenty of things to be angry about. We are expert at inventing reasons to be upset. But all I'm suggesting is that most of that energy really is harmful. It's not helping when we have better alternatives. I'm a great advocate for the benefits of meditation, and I know there are people, friends, who said, I can't meditate. And we should never feel we are being forced to do it. But even these moments of quiet reflection where you learn to stop this freight train of energy that is our stream of consciousness and just step off for a second and understand it from a slightly different perspective, so you're not being dragged along, blown around like a leaf in the wind. You get to choose, how do I want to respond? Do I even want to respond? Why would I sacrifice my inner peace and calm for a few moments of anger, whether it's expressed or repressed? I'd love to know what you think about this, but I can promise you one thing. As you begin to develop this particular approach to your own mental and emotional energy, you're going to experience some surprising changes. And once you discover how much control you can exercise effortlessly over how you think and feel, you realize you have a powerful, simple, natural tool that you can use anytime to determine how you think, how you feel, how you behave. You suddenly having a very, very positive impact on your health, your well-being, your creativity, on the quality of your life. And I commend that to you because it's a very, very powerful thing to practice and introduce into your daily routines until it becomes your default position. You will become the personification of cool because you don't allow things to dictate how you think and feel. Powerful thought here. I'd love to know what you think. It is a beautiful day. I hope you're enjoying fantastic weather wherever you are. I'm going to go back inside, put a shirt on and attend a meeting. And in the meantime, allow me to wish you a wonderful day. And I look forward to being back with you soon. Bye for now.